Welcome back. Welcome back to Life Coaching Systems Monthly Podcast Episode 4. It's so good to be back. Be back doing the podcast. I'm always excited about talking to all the listeners out there. I'm your host, Dr. Kenneth Hudson, for this episode on what are you thankful for in your life? What are you thankful for in your life? I know it might be a lot of things that you're thanking God for. And as we head into a season of celebrations, into a week filled with ways to express enormous gratitude, many of our minds on turkey or on dressing, on ham and sweet potato pie, and all those things that make this season so great. But really, have you had a chance to think of all the things in your life that you are truly thankful for? What are you truly thankful for? Sometimes people think that the material things that we have, the car we drive, your children, the house we live in, our job, our education, that we think are necessary in life, those things we just think that just we got to have. But are those really the most important things that you have in your life? When you really think about it, are you thankful for the people that God has brought into your life? In life, you realize there's a role for everyone that you meet. There's a role for everyone that you meet. Some will use you, some will love you, some will teach you, but the ones who are truly important are the ones who bring out the best in you. Do you have a person in your life that brings out the best in you? When challenges arise, it's the real test of a person's character and principles. These moments reveal the nature of our patterns of behavior. When important issues come up, we usually revert to some old and outdated pattern. These moments require honesty and openness. And a lot of times we don't like to admit to be honest and open with ourselves. It's such a hard test when you have to look in the mirror and decide some things and make some value judgments about yourself. You know what? With all the money, all the sex, all the power and material possessions we accumulate cannot fulfill and comfort your soul and your heart. It's sad because truly, when you think about it, what truly matters is love, friendship, and kindness. And I have to ask this question: how do you figure out which one it is? Which one is it? But the question is, we may never know. We may never know which one it is. When we look at the scriptures, in Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, He hath made everything beautiful in His time. That God determines who walks into your life. As I think back on the relationships I've had in my life, I feel blessed. I've had work relationships for a reason. I've had ex and friendships that were for a season. And if I had people in my life now that I pray are there for a lifetime. Oh, a reason, a season, and a lifetime. I've had to learn to see each relationship not as a devastating loss, but a wonderful experience I was fortunate to have in the first place. So if you didn't have to go through them things, you wouldn't have learned the life lessons that are so important for you today. But when you look at things, no one likes to think of their relationships as temporary. Oh, people don't want to see themselves as temporary people. But the truth be told, the truth is, people enter your life for a reason. People enter your life for a season, and people enter your life for a lifetime. Anytime that we try to force relationships, sometimes we try to force some things to happen beyond their purpose. We end up getting disappointed. We end up getting hurt. Have you ever done that? Have you ever tried to force some things to make it happen, to will it to happen, and it just did not work out the way you wanted it to? But how do you figure out which one it is? That we may never know, but hopefully this helps. When someone is in your life for a reason, it's usually to meet a need you express. That God has sent them to assist you through a difficulty, to provide you with guidance and support to aid you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. They may seem like a godsend. Have you ever had that person? They may seem they know everything that you need. They're able to do it. They are there. They are there for the reason God needed them to be, or vice versa. That person is right. That everything that you need, that person is willing to give it to you. Have you ever met that person? Then, without any wrongdoing on your part, the relationship will end. Sometimes they will die. Sometimes they just walk away. God will remove them from your life completely. Sometimes they act up and you are forced to take a stand. A singular experience can be so profound it affects your whole life, and we remember it forever. You know that lessons and trials take many forms. We must realize that our need has been met. That need that you had been met. Our desire fulfilled. Their work is done. The prayer you sent up has been answered. And sometimes you may not understand it. And now it's time to move on. It's just time to move on. It's so hard. First thing we said people come into your life for a reason. It is usually to meet a need you expressed. And some people come into your life for a season. When people come into your life for a season, it's because it's your turn to share something. It's your turn to grow. It's your turn to learn something about yourself. Sometimes we find ourselves in difficult seasons because of our own doings. Have you ever done that? Did you find yourself in a difficult, closed in season for something you've done yourself? Sometimes we are our own worst enemies, making poor decisions, not praying to God for direction before making important decisions. They bring you an experience of peace, or the person coming, they make you laugh at some things. They may teach you something you have never done. They'll teach you something that you've never done. It's not easy to let people go when the time is complete. Oh, sometimes our best thing is to let people go. Oh, we hold on so much to people who, that it's time for them to go, but you get so used to having them around. Get so comfortable with people that then it comes a time where you need to let that person go. That it's important to allow people to come and go appropriately into our lives without attempting to control the relationship or experience. It is meant to be long term. I'm going to say this again. If it's meant to be long term or last forever, the relationship will let us know. Not the other way around. It will let us know. We will know. The relationship would take. We'll feel something deep down. Have you ever had that feeling of something that's deep down that you knew that this was going to last? Whenever we find ourselves going through a tough season, remember God is not punishing you. God is not punishing you for something, but God allows us to learn through our poor decisions for us to get closer to God. Oh, it's the trials of life that bring you closer to God. Oh, the trials of life are not designed to break you, but are designed to make you and bring you closer to God. That we must accept the fact that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Oh, it's some people in your life who are temporary people, but you've made them permanent people and they hurt you again and again. Have you ever tried to hold on to the person and they were in the wrong season? They end up hurting you. You might have been in the spring. They might have been in the summer. Y'all were in the wrong season. You held on to them too long. It may be a hurt as through the pain will never stop. Believe it is real, but remember that this is only for a season, and this too shall pass. But more importantly, we said people come into your life for a season. It's your turn to share, it's your turn to grow, it's your turn to learn something that you never learned before. It's your turn right now. It's not anybody else's turn, but it's your turn. But then lastly, this one last point right here. There's one last point. Some people come into your life for a lifetime. Lifetime relationships teach you lifetime lessons. Or have you ever learned a lifetime lesson? It was something that you couldn't get at all. You had to mature a little bit. You had to, some things had to happen in your life before you could really get it. Now everything added up. things that you must build upon to have a solid emotional foundation. When these people come into your life, you know that they are keepers. You know that lifetime relationships are a gift from God. Oh, God has given you something that is so precious. All these people, you can count on them. Maybe sometimes people say they are ride or die person. Or if you going through, they going through. If you go to jail, they'll go to jail for you. People just don't come along like this every day. You know that these are the relationships you're blessed to have until you take your last breath. Your family, your friends, your spouse, and other people's, etc. These people, they don't come along every day. When they do come along, you know it. You realize, you notice that it's something special about them. It's something special about this person. But don't get me wrong, just because they are God sent, say this again, just because they are God sent doesn't mean that they are easy. You know, that all relationships take work on our part. Some days you may feel that the relationship is not worth it, and other days you thank God that they are in your life. You ever had a person that you thank God for them every day? I could just look at my life and I just thank God that I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in today if it wasn't that God strategically placed some people in my life that helped me, that pushed me, and some people that told me about myself. But God will bring some people when you think that you're in doubt. God will bring along a person that's a lifetime person. You know that friends are unconditional. They care and always want your best. You got to have some people in your life that who they want the best out of you. They're not jealous of you. They want to have the best that come out of you. Your job is to accept the lesson, love the person, and put what you have learned to use in all other relationships and areas of your life. Real friends, I'm going to say this again, real friends are God's blessing. These are God's blessing. Oh, you know it. They're not going anywhere. Oh, adversity may hit, some trials may hit. You may be going down, but beloved, they'll go down with you, and you'll know that these are real friends. But the question is this: the real tricky part is this: is to know whether a person or friend is in your life for a reason. Are they in your life for a season, or in your life for a lifetime? Are they a reason, a season, and a lifetime? Regardless of how long they are in your life for, be sure to give them the best you have every moment. Give them your best. Oh, life is too short. The life is too short. Oh, it's such a short physical life. But there's always some blessing, some benefit, a lesson to be gained. You can get, oh, this is such a great thing that people coming in your life that will be a blessing to you, and you will be a blessing to the other people. People come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. I received this today. It's blessed my soul today just to say it. I'm excited about it because I know that God got people coming, and God got people for you. If you just keep looking, if you keep looking for the blessing, because the blessing is going to look unusual. The blessing is not going to look the way you think it's going to look. It's going to look unusual. So you got to get yourself ready to be able to recognize that a blessing for you may look unusual. It might look different from other people. But the thing is being able to discern that this is the blessing that's been tailor-made for you. It's tailor-made for you and everything. That's the thing that you got to look for. I want to thank you today for listening to Life Coaching Systems podcast number 4. Being thankful for the people in your life. Oh, we got so much to be thankful for, not just turkey and dressing, those types of things. When you listen to this podcast, I want you to pass it along to other people. You will find additional show notes on our website. Our next podcast will focus on how to build a solid relationship and good communication skills. You don't want to miss this one. You don't want to miss this one. I'm going to try to have a guest for this next one. Spread the word about our podcast. We want this thing to spread out. People on Facebook, people on Twitter, people on Instagram. Spread it. Send it to someone. Send it to somebody needs to hear this message about that. This is not the end, but this is just the beginning. You can reach us on our website at www.lifecoachsystem.org, or on Facebook at Awakenings 007, or YouTube, Dr. Kenneth Hudson, Life Coaching Systems, Inc. And if you want to show support for our broadcast, and we need support, we really do need support in our broadcast. You can show it through the Cash App. People know Cash App at Cash at Rattlers 006, or you can go through our website at www.lifecoachsystems.org. Remember, we're still in the pandemic. I know a lot of people haven't gotten the booster, but please, if you need to get the booster, get the booster. If you haven't gotten your first shot or your second shot, please get it. Wear a mask, wash your hands, still stay 6 feet away. I'm doing it. So please do those things so we can get this virus under control. God bless you today.